Hello guys, all 0 viewers of you. This is what happens when Shox isn't around to spam the stream link. But yes, we are finally in the playoffs of the Draft Cup. I'm going to aim to bring all the playoff games to you. They will be scheduled throughout the week. And we're starting off with L7 versus BFSM. I have no idea about the seeding. I probably should have looked at that before. But this should be a good one. I haven't casted UT for like what feels like 2 weeks. Don't know what the last game I casted was, but we're now well into the best of 3 stage. So this will be a playoff match. Whoever loses this, I believe, drops to the lower bracket. I think it's double elim. So no one going home just yet, but shortly there will be players going home. I think I haven't looked at the predictions, but I probably selected L7 to win this one. I think Shox has assembled a strong team. And although Barsam's squad is, also has a couple of very strong players on it, I think Shox's team have showed us throughout the group stage that they can be very dangerous. But certainly upset potential here. I don't know the maps because I didn't do any prep. But it does seem like Space will be the first map. I don't know. It's been a while since any of these teams played an actual cup game, a couple of weeks, as I said. But lots of scrimming practice been taking place. L7 are readied up. Shox asking if blue team are ready themselves. Blue won a couple minutes. Spam the stream link around. Never mind, we'll do the streaming channel. Anyway, game is underway. Map 1 of a potential 3. It's just this one matchup tonight.
3, 2, 1.
Let's go back to Flo because he got a sniper. Although it's Shox who draws first blood with the flak cannon. This is usually a pretty strong start, getting the sniper, getting those vials. And already Flo making his presence known ahead of this 100 arm, which is up in 9 seconds. Lots of plays from Red. Special One gets a double kill with just 1 rocket there, and Flo is going to ping Shox with another 2 snipers, but Kevlar actually gets the 100, so absolutely spamming bodies onto this 100 armor. And the score is tied up, despite lots of kills going the way of Flo and Special One there. You can hear his opponent, but can't hit the shot. But does mean this belt's coming up very shortly. 5 seconds. Cyborg's there ahead of time. Shox, he's covering the door. Barsam jumps in. He's got a teammate. Oh, Cyborg eats a full rocket as soon as he takes that belt. That's unfortunate. And it's Special One who picks up the 100 armor while Red team are distracted. So advantage blue in terms of the stack, but that's getting whittled away. Special One face to face with 3 players. And he's really early for this amp. It's not actually being punished. There we go, Shox goes down. Special's going to drop for the next 100 armor. Can't take out Cyborg before he picks it up, and there's 4 red players there. They're going to take him out, and it's Flo left on 35 HP with this amp. Cannot really afford to go aggressive. Don't want to give up early amp runs to any team. There we go, Flo. This is what he needs to do. Play it nice and passive. Pick off the stragglers. Meanwhile, belt's coming up. Red team again in position. 3 players down there. they'll pick that one up. The 100 armor went the way of Special One, but it was contested by Cyborg. So red being very aware of the armors. Blue have yet to show up for a belt fight. Did get that amp though. Shock's already lost the belt though. Special One's still got the 100, so as far as keeping these armors going, blue team doing the better job, and they're actually leading now by 7 points. As this next 100 armor comes up, Special One has been all over it all game. Shocks jumps down, gets 2 huge flaks and eradicates that 100 armor. They will now have time on the 100. Special One gonna lose this fight? He does. I'm amazed that combo did almost no damage to Kevlar there, but he does go down. Gap's brought to within 5. Amp's coming up. Cyborg's in position for that. No one's down by the belt. Team's absolutely prioritizing this amp. Sunrazor's up there. Amp has spawned. He's going to drop on it. Takes down Flow as well. The belt went to Shock, so huge advantage here for red. They did give up the 100 armor, but if they can get some momentum behind this amp run, they can start to take the lead again. As Special One goes down, that's important. One of the stronger aim players for BFSM. Barsam goes down as well. This is definitely a map where you can have a high impact amp run. Not the biggest impact, but oh, Masculine denies that 100 armor. Great play by him. Knew exactly when it was up. He did get the last one. But, you know, using that amp to get position on the 100, Sunrazor had the right idea, but didn't hit the shot. And it's still a close game, within 3. As Sunrazor drops for the belt, he's now on a killing spree. And he's cleaned out this this belt room for his team. Belt's looking like it will go the way of Cyborg, but Flow runs in, gets a full combo, takes down the player camping on that belt, but Kevlar's there. That is the importance of having many people available for the belt fight. Only one player in there for blue. He did a good job. That was Flow getting that combo, but covered by a teammate. And now it's set up for this amp. Red, they're way ahead of blue in terms of setting up for this amp. If Kevlar can get this amp, because he's super stacked. He wants a sniper first, though. Flow's actually just going to jump for it, and he goes down instantly. Kevlar unable to take out Special One, instead just shoots Barsam with a couple of primaries. Let's pull up these stats just for a second here. Very close damage between the two teams. This amp run's going nowhere, though. Loads and loads of wasted time. Instead, Kevlar just going to help his teammates out at the belt. And the gap has been narrowed to 1 point. Shock's again picking up the 100. Oh, and Sunrazor gets... sorry, Shock's got the belt. Sunrazor gets the 100. He's actually lost most of that 100, but just denying it from blue is big. They've been all over the 100 all game, and that's kind of been their lifeline. And now red is starting to take the lead. All 4 players on red with stack. That's very unusual on this map, because there's no 50 armor. Only a 25. Hundreds coming up. Sunrazor gets nuked by Special One. He didn't see him there. Must have a lower FOV. 2K4 players, right? Oh no, Kevlar. Not like this. There we go. Flow goes down. And a killing spree for Kevlar as he's solo holding this belt against 2 players. Looks like his team have prioritized the amp. He could actually... Oh, gets sniped by the Enforcer. If he was alive for just a second more there, he could have got the belt, but it does go to Special. I think that's the first belt that blue have got. Yeah. Okay, it wasn't showing on the HUD. That was weird. Sorry, I'm missing an amp run. But Cyborg, oh, 2 spawning players. He's got amped minigun. That's absolutely what you want to see. And Masculine gets away. And a 10-point lead. Whoa! Barsam sneaks the 100. Good play by him. But not gaining his team any momentum. It's just stopping the opponents. And red there, already ahead of the belt. Sunrazor taking an aggressive position, holding this door. He's got the stack to defend the room. actually going over here to secure the 100 armor. 2 enemy players here. He's got boots as well, so he can play around this. He takes a full... takes a full flak there. Actually gets the 100 armor mid-fight, but still goes down. Unable to do any damage, but denies the 100 from 2 enemy players. And it was his teammates who got the belt. Some of that TDM experience showing for Sunraiser. Knowing that his teammates have secured the belt room. But let's switch over to Cyborg. He's just picked up the amp. He's holding above the 100. Barsam will sneak it again. Red have been giving up a lot of 100s lately. Ones that they could actually, could absolutely be using to secure this game nice and early. But Blue, with a couple of clutch grabs, keeping themselves in it. And not getting this 100 means that this amp run can't be quite as effective as they would like. But look, they're just so uncontested at the belt. I feel like Blue have completely lost timing on that. Which is kind of funny because it spawns pretty much on the minute still. Switch to Sunraiser. He picked up the belt. Special One gets the 100, but he's 1v2. One player goes down. But that 100 is pretty much rinsed off the Special One. Oh, and caught between 3 enemy players. Ouch. Cyborg gets headshot by Special One. He just spawned and got a sniper rifle. A deadly hit scan player, no doubt. But nothing's really up for a while once this 100 is taken, and nobody's in position to grab it. We'll go to Flow. Takes a ton of damage, though, in that air rocket from the side. And now it's belt and amp. Blue, they've got good position on the amp. 1 player below, 1 player above. Belt, Cyborg's there. All 4 players for red. This will be a free amp for Blue. Chance for them to start mounting a comeback. Amp goes to Flow. And he picks up a shock rifle. And there's going to be lots of players from red down low. And not all of them have armor because only 1 player can grab that belt. 3 players for Flow. Target-rich environment. Takes down Sunraiser. But all the other players from red have scattered. He's actually, I don't think he knows it, but he's running after 3 red players now. Just unable to see them. There we go. Kevlar comes into view, but most of this amp time is gone. Nice primaries. But all in all, not a hugely impactful amp run. Didn't even spot the belted player. Score is now up to about 15. And another 100 goes to Sunraiser. Let's have a look at these armor stats. Once he kills Flow here. Damage now starting to be a bit of a lead for red, but really the difference is in the belts. 8-1. They are losing slightly on 100s, but 8-1 belts is huge. And belts are a swinging item. You get a belt, you can chain that into a lot of kills. 100's a bit more consistent across the game, but a big belt lead like that is generally very difficult to make a comeback from. As Sunraiser picks up another 100 armor. Oh, can't pick Masculine out of the sky and goes down to rockets. Masculine airstrikes him. And Blue secure the 100 armor room, but it's too late to pick up the 100. They're going to have to wait for a while. Amp has just spawned. Special One picked that up. An air rocket from Masculine. Nearly a second one there, but he will go down. That Amp goes into the hands of Sunraiser. And they don't really need these impactful amp runs. I mean, it can be nice to put the game to bed with a big amp run, but just playing it safe could be a good option here. And they have given it up to Flow. He's looking for kills. He's down by the belt, takes down shocks. That's big. Double kill. And the belt's up in 1 second. Great play by Flow, knowing exactly where to be to have maximum impact with that amp run. And the 100's up soon. So if ever there was a time for Blue to start making a comeback, it was now. Sunraiser drops onto the 100. I think he might get it here. No, he doesn't. So lots of armor for Blue. They're only 10 points behind with 3.5 minutes left. It's totally doable. Oh, what a combo from Flow. Nearly takes down shocks as well. Messy fight. 9-point lead. And that's a lot of the armor advantage gone for Blue, actually. When you have the lead, taking messy fights generally goes to your advantage. But with 3.5 minutes left, still within error is this game. 100 armor's up. You see, actually Barsam's on point there. Knew exactly when it was coming up. I was about to say that teams tend to lose track of the 100 armor later in the game, especially when the major items are coming up. But still, it's been a crucial item this whole game. Really keeping blue in it. And we saw last time they got the belt and the amp. Will be special one to pick up. The amp. They did lose out the belt, but Shock's here. He's vulnerable. Doesn't really have the guns, but he gets so much plasma damage with the link gun. Actually steals that amp from Special One, who had amped minigun that does so much DPS, but doesn't compare to the link gun. And that's such a momentum breaker. Shock's able to take all the damage because he just picked up the belt, and now it's Sunraiser and Cyborg. They're stacked as well. The lead is now building for L7. What could have been a great comeback has been completely shut down. And now it looks like Red will get another 100 armor. Every item they get from now on is another nail in the coffin of this game. Sunraiser is going towards the belt. He's pretty stacked already. We'll pick up some health files as well. Flo's actually made his way onto the belt. And belt goes to blue, so this is literally the last chance for them to start making a comeback. Almost up to a 20-point lead now. But the defensive play from the red team players is holding Special One at bay. And I think another 100 will go the way of red. No, it does go to blue. They don't really have the time though. One amp run remaining, and it's looking like Cyborg will pick that up. All he has to do is burn this amp. He can drop down. Oh, he actually goes down, but the amp does drop. And Cyborg spawns. Oh, it's Flo to pick it up. And it is still a 10-point lead. This is doable with an amp. Flo would have to go absolutely supernova here. Does get some health. The 100's coming up. Oh, what a shot. Double kill. Multi-kill. It's within 4. Oh, man, if blue can pull this off, that would be huge. They just need 4 kills, and they basically just wiped red team. Within 3, with 50 seconds, this is now a game. A rampage for Flo. It's been absolutely huge this last few minutes. Great combo onto Kevlar. Is defending the belt. Shocks eats a freebie. An ultra kill for Flo. 2 points in it with 30 seconds left. 100 armor goes the way of red, though. I'm still watching Flo. Sunraiser, he's got this 100. The lead is back up to 5 points. It's looking like Flo, despite his best efforts, he hasn't got the support from his teammates to pull this over the line. Huge game from Flo with 10 seconds left. 6 frags the difference now. Will be over, but got very, very close there. Within 2 or 3 at one point from some amazing plays from Flo. And all in all, a very, very close game at the end there. Really great to see. Shame it couldn't have gone to overtime or something. But that is only game 1 between these two teams. Unfortunately, I missed that amazing headshot into multi-kill with the sniper by Flo for the recording. But I think I recorded the ultra kill at the belt, which might have just been one of those ultra kills where your teammates get the assists. You see him denying. Shocks gave him a freebie there. Gets another one. And I think there was an assist off screen. But a huge game from Flo. 44 kills, 5.2k damage. Led the server. But just not enough to pull it over the line at the end there. Okay, on to map 2, which is looking like it'll be deep inside. Obviously, as a best of 3, now that red are 1 game up. If they win this, they stay in the upper bracket, and blue drop to the lowers. But of course, chance for blue to tie it up. And now tying it up means we go to a decider. We're no longer in best of 2s in the group stage. These are playoff games, as you can see by the overlay. Let's pull the warm-up up so you can see my face. That was a really good game to kick off my break from casting. Let's hope they're all that good. Looks like players taking a bit of a breather. That's a nice shot. I'm assuming, by the way, that the stream quality is fine and the audio is all good. Looks good on my end. I haven't changed anything. But of course, if volumes could change, then let me know. But yeah, Deep Inside, I mean, newer map for this cup. Obviously, it's not a new map. It's a Quake map from like 2002 or something. But as far as UT players playing, it is new for this draft tournament. It was relatively unknown at the beginning of the tournament. Obviously, been played in pugs and was voted in. But now teams have had a few weeks to play and practice it. It's got much more of an identity now, and players will sort of settle into positions, settle into routines on this map a bit more easily now. So we should be seeing some high-level games on this map in the playoffs, which is good. Looks like red team are ready. Will blue team reciprocate? Hopefully. Getting there, guys, I promise. We're only 14 minutes late. Oh, hang on, I lie. 10 minutes late. Looks like maybe the blue team players waiting to catch their nerves, maybe have a quick discussion. Barsam's asked if they're ready. Shox is ready. We should be getting into the game pretty soon then. Game 2 on Deep Inside. L7, chance for them to win this outright as a 2-0. But BFSM, Barsam's squad, they could pull this back with the tying game. We've seen a couple of their players play really well on this map. Flo especially playing down low at the armors. And the keg getting super stacked. But all the early frags going to red. Let's switch over to the 100 armor. And the 100 armor on this map is down low. Oh, full flak by Flo. Secures in the 100 armor. Might go down here. Doesn't want to get team killed. He was actually very, very low there. But will escape with his life, and that's important. Don't want to throw away that 80 armor by dying when you have 2 HP. And he's already in position for the belt, so good movement by him on the macro scale, as opposed to the wall running micro scale that he's normally very good at. But actually, Red have just waltzed onto the belt and got that uncontested. Cyborg didn't. Oh, he did have a gun. I didn't see who got the 100, but I think it was someone on blue. Cyborg gets a freebie onto Barsam, who's looking the other way. And now Cyborg, he's probably looking to set up for this amp early. He's super, super stacked. Could do with a bit of ammo and maybe another gun. But he will be the player to take this amp almost certainly. And this could be a really impactful amp right away. There we go. Cyborg picks it up. Oh, great. Luck on that sniper just being on the floor there. But this is the thing with this map, it's hard to have a high impact amp run, and he's actually dropped low, which makes it even more difficult. All blue team players are above him. He hasn't seen anyone yet. There we go. Masculine, he didn't even see him before he died. There's actually 3 players from blue there. Teammates need to be comming this to him. But Cyborg, now he can't hit the shot, and Barsam's just been allowed to live there. 0 damage amp run. A bit disappointing, actually. And finally gets a kill. Gets a double kill, in fact, but after the amp has run out. Sometimes the amp runs just fizzle out on this map because it's hard to find people. Very important to be calling out positions for your teammates. But it's 16-16. Make that 17-16. Cyborg takes blowout. And another 100 goes to Shox this time. Let's follow him. Could do with some HP. It's going to pick up that 25 as Barsam flaks himself on the wall there. And it's another early setup by red team on the amp. Looks like they're prioritizing this. Amp and keg. And then back to the 100 maybe. Meanwhile, blue are taking the belt side of the map. So fairly split. Masculine pushing in, immediately runs away. But Flo got the 100, so 100 belt going to blue, and keg going to blue. So a bit of a slip up there by red. Could have had that free keg. It was still synchronized. We're still early in the game, so it's still synchronized with the amp. And now all they have is the amp. Shocks though. Oh, freebies there. Special one had full armor. Might even, yeah, special one was the belted player. Insta-gibbed. So, deciding to go with the amp, right play. Only real mistake there by red was giving up the keg. So they have given up another 100. Flo this time, pushing in. Great flak by him. And probably a freebie here onto Sunraiser. Shredded. Flo's been playing really well with the flak. This past couple games. Oh, wow. No, just as I say that, he misses all his shots, but does get the kill eventually. And we're onto the belt. Oh, that looked like a close one. Sad I missed that one. We'll go to Shocks. And he and his team are now 4 points ahead. Make that 5. Let's pull up the stats. Already a bigger damage lead this game than we saw last game. But an early setup for red. They're definitely showing themselves to be the team that has more awareness of when these major items are spawning. And this time they're going for the keg. Come on, Shocks. No, they've given it up. It could have been huge. That would have been an absolutely fully stacked amp player, and he goes through the teleporter and dies. And that is the importance. Of course, it's just as after I say that they have awareness of these major items, is they mess up. But eventually, Shock's getting his hands on the amp again, and another belt, so nothing really lost. And it's still a 4-point difference. But getting absolutely obliterated by Special One going through that teleporter after he stole the keg. A bit embarrassing. And that was a chance for red team to pull away, really. Kind of squandered, so they're going to have to do it the traditional way and just out damage over the next couple minutes. Amp is up fairly soon, though. Actually, Masculine with a big presence on this amp fight. Takes down Cyborg. That's 2 frags he's got in here now. Possibly 3, but goes down to the Enforcer of Kevlar, who survived on very low HP. 13 for him. Oh, wow. Special one. Great play. Oh, but eats a full flak. Amp is now up. What a messy fight this has been. Masculine will survive and take the amp, but doesn't survive. Sunraiser to pick it up. Amp changes hands a 3rd time. Finally goes the way of Kevlar. But Barsam got the belt on the other side of the map. Looking like Kevlar wants to take this fight to him and eradicate that belt. Barsam doesn't have any team support, but hits a full flak onto Kevlar, who has to back away. He's now on 2 HP. This is the ultimate glass cannon. And the glass cannon is shattered. Oh, another death with an amp through the teleporter. But the amp was pretty much over there. Having said that, the lead has been completely destroyed. Now blue team in the lead. And a huge stack on the side of blue. Flo got himself 100. Special did have that stack a few seconds ago. Barsam still got most of that belt, and now they're in position for this next one. Shock's only player from red contesting this. He will almost certainly go down here. 4 players from blue. And it's Masculine to get the belt. Still high stacks on blue, and opportunities still to get to this 100 armor, which they've been on top of all game. Oh, Flo, he's in position. We'll pick that one up. So great run by blue team. Actually made it almost a 10-point lead. Bit of a mistake by Flo losing that stack ahead of this amp fight, though. And this could be a momentum shift, depending on who gets this next amp. And it's looking like red have cleared out the room. Will be a free amp for Kevlar, although none of the players on red are very stacked. Kevlar nearly steps on a rocket as well. And they want to use this amp for this belt, which is the right thing to do. They're not super stacked. They can't really afford to go on a risky amp run. But securing this belt would mean a lot. Especially because after this belt, there's still time. Oh no, Kevlar! He's hit the wall. Might go down to this link gun from Masculine here. He does. That's a mistake. That guaranteed belt is now a little bit riskier, which means they give up the 100 armor in the meantime. Flow, again, on top of that all game. And it's a bit of a lead for BFSM. As Sunraiser finds difficulty hitting those rockets uphill is really difficult to do, especially in a map like this, which has got fairly open rooms. Not much to bounce rockets off. And I'm anticipating that Flo's going to be on this 100 armor. He is. And again, it's the 100 armor's keeping Blue in the lead. Last game it was keeping them in the game, but this game they're 13-1. Hang on. No, that's 1300 armors for Flo, 1 for Barsam, 14 to 300 armors. Still an outrageous difference. And Flo is just the menace who lives in the sewer. Who knew that the place Flo would like the most is the place that's just all walls. Meanwhile, his teammate gets the amp. A bit of a shaft fight here. Special One has to back away. Doesn't have the stuck to take that. Oh, but we'll take this fight any day of the week. But Kevlar's disappeared from from all view. Amp is traded out though. Goes back to Masculine. And now 15-point lead or so for Blue Team. Showing themselves to be much stronger this map than they were last. Feeling very comfortable. Oh! Masculine narrowly avoiding that bio. Does step in a blob. But this belt is all but secure now. 2 players from Red pushing in. Masculine dodges off it actually. I think that's given up the belt. Would need to go huge here. 1v3. It does go down. The belt goes to Shocks, but Flo again gets 100 armor. Let's switch to Shocks. Because the onus is on him and his team to make this comeback happen. Remember, they are 1 point up, so if they lose, game's not over. We will go to a decider, but definitely want to end the game in 2-0 if you can. Shocks now making his way over to this amp. He's about a second late, but takes down Special One, who's sitting on the amp with no health. And now Shocks with an opportunity to start taking lives. But he's floundering a bit. That's 10 seconds of the amp wasted. His teammate got the keg. But he's looking for players and nobody's showing themselves. This is the horror of playing this map when you're down a few points, is that you cannot make a score difference huge like you could on Spacer, like we saw Flo do last game. It takes time. Again, as soon as I switch to the 100, Flo picks it up. How many is he on now? 18. Honestly, someone on Red needs to pull the scoreboard up and just have a look at how outrageous that is. 1800 armors with 3.5 minutes left still. Could get another 6. And it is, again, another 100 goes to Flo. He just knows. The sewer menace. But belt's up in 15. Amp's up first, though. Looking like Blue is going to prioritize this belt. Red prioritizing the amp. 4 players there. They are putting all their weight behind this amp run. As the belt surely will go the way of Blue. Still up. Oh, Barsam's delaying it, or he's giving it to Special One. It's a good choice. Special One, very strong player. Generally, you want to give your stronger players the items. And meanwhile, 10 seconds left in this amp, and it's had no impact as Shocks goes down to Barsam's rockets. And Barsam picks up the amp, so that amp did absolutely nothing for L7. They now only have 2.5 minutes left, and it's a 15-point lead or so. Looking like another 100 has gone the way of Flo. He's sitting by it. He's going to take that one, even though he had full armor. He's just going to take it for the stats. 2000 armors for Flow. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen that. And that just is testament to how uncontested the sewers have been this whole game. And that's really been the downfall of Red. Flow's now got... he's comfortable enough to just walk in and shred people ahead of the belt. Again, once you have this lead, you can afford to be a bit messy during the last couple minutes of the game and just block all the momentum of the enemy team. Because essentially Red need everything to go right. They need amp runs and belt runs. And this last amp run is pretty much do or die for them. In this game, at least. Still one more to play if they lose. Blue are actually pushing in to try and have some presence on this amp fight. They gave the last one up for free, but they don't want to do this again. Oh, and they made a good effort of it. Actually, Special One will pick up the amp, and he's got team support as well. What a play by Blue. Even though Red was set up ahead of time, whittled them away. Knew the timing as well. So definitely showing themselves to be the stronger team on this map. It's looking like a blue team victory unless Shox can do something huge with this amp run. But as I said earlier, this map, it's hard to have big amp runs. He's just not seeing people. And with 46 seconds left, I'm not hopeful for L7's chances to pull this back and win it in 2. And you see on this map, almost 200 seconds of amp time on Red, which you generally, if a team has that much amp time, you tend to see a damage lead, but you know, the amp run's just not that impactful on this map. What's Flow now? 2200 armors. That's insane.
9, 8,
Will he get the last one?
6, 5, 4,
He's letting us all down. Not getting the last 100. I bet that's Flow. Yeah, that is Flow. He was a split second too late on that last 100 grab. Would have been 23. But great game by BFSM, proving that they are absolutely in the running to take this series as we move on to map 3. There we go. You can see my face again. Sorry about that. I don't know what map 3 is. And it's hard to place these two teams, honestly. They both had no huge standout performances. I guess a couple of 5k damage games, which is pretty, you know, it's a good game if you're getting over 5k damage. And Flow showed us a really good game at the end on Spacer, but generally, if you're having a huge carry performance, it's like 5.5, 6k damage. Sometimes players like Dion and Snatch get 6,000 or 7,000 damage or something outrageous. But mostly the damage between the players has been fairly even. I think these teams are generally playing well as teams and being aware of the items. But maybe just a strategic difference. You see L7 prioritizing the amp on deep inside. Which strategically might not be the best choice, opposed to, you know, prioritizing the belt and the 100 armor especially, they were losing out on, and that seems more like a strategy choice than a falling short individually choice. But it looks like Barsam crashed, so we will be just a second. I think I have a replay. Let's have a look. I think this might be some flak action. From Flow, who's been playing great today. Oh, this is where he missed all the flak. Yeah, we'll cut that last bit short. Either way. Barsam's rejoined. We should be underway soon. Map 3 is Overlord. Hard to say who this favors. I think honestly, based on the previous two maps, I think Overlord is more similar to Deep Inside than it is to Spacer. Takes a bit longer to get around. Amp runs generally a bit less impactful than they can be on Spacer, which is very porous, and you can, you know, there's loads of open space and you can get between the rooms quickly. On this map, takes a bit more time. Of course, lots of open space on this map, so opportunities for sniper play, but you do need to set up for the belt nice and early, and 100 armor's off out of the way. So I think based on the previous two maps, I'd have to hand it to BFSM to have the advantage. But it does depend if they can maybe get some amps this time round, rather than just solo winning purely off 100 armors. Players trying to do this jump. It is possible. It's a bit difficult though. There we go. Alright, Shock's team are readied up. This will be the decider if you're just tuning in now. I had two good games, very close game on Spacer, pretty close game on Deep Inside, but both games, the team that won were the team that held the lead all throughout the game. So I'm expecting this to be another close one, hopefully. Oh! Just waiting on a ready up from blue team. Maybe discussing some tactics again. But of course, teams will be very familiar with these maps now, having played them all throughout the cup. Alright, that's a ready from blue. We've had the ready from red, so let's switch screen as we get into map 3 of this series between these two teams in the winner bracket. So whoever loses drops to the lower bracket. Whoever wins continues in the upper. And Special One gets an easy first blood. There are 2 spawns up by that link gun. Don't want to be on the receiving end of the Enforcer player. Well, the 100's up in 10 seconds. 3 players from blue already there. So this is going to be a strong hold. Shox is poking in. It takes a ton of damage. I think Flo's just going to walk. Oh, Sunraiser! Cheeky. Mistake from blue. Sunraiser just walks up the ramp and nicks it. 50's actually still up. There we go. Goes to Barsam. It's a bit of a mistake there by no, hang on. Yeah, a bit of a mistake there by BFSM to just allow Sunraiser to walk and take 100. But they are prepped for the belt. That one goes to Cyborg. Sunraiser gets another 100. And this is looking good in the first minute or so for L7. Lots of armor. As Cyborg pings Special One 3 times. And they're going to have a stacked amp fight. Barsam will go down here. Actually, headbutts the shock ball and hits a full flak onto Cyborg. What a good hold from red. They will surely get this amp. Cyborg picks it up. And now he's out in the open. The important thing on this map is once you get the amp, you have to get out of the middle room. Because it's so dangerous down there. And Cyborg has got spawn players in front of him. Flo goes down. The other blue player went down as well. So Cyborg looking for more kills. Masculine's in front of him. And he's going to use the remaining time on this amp to push this belt, which is exactly what you want to be doing. Does go down, but taking Masculine off the belt there is crucial. And I think that's... Never mind. I was going to say, I think that's one L7, the belt, but wasn't quite enough. Do get the 100 armor, though. Oh, and the belt eats so much damage. 100 armor versus belt. It looks like 100 armor's winning this time. Let's switch back to Cyborg. Strong player with the rockets. And these past couple games, actually, Cyborg's been playing quite well. There was some some arguments that maybe he was one of the more underrated players in the draft, and his salary was too low. Didn't really show it in the first few games, but it's been showing flashes of the Cyborg we all know and love since then. Yeah, professional Fortnite player that he is. And he's helping Kevlar defend this amp. Prioritizing the amp over the belt, but players from blue sneaking in from all angles. Cyborg, his shock ball gets blocked. Unable to defend the amp. Oh, and he's missing rockets. Rockets that absolutely should be hitting. And I think both major items... Oh no, Shock's got the amp. Thought maybe blue had nicked that. But all that armor just went to blue. Shoxy's 1v3 in this room is going down. Yeah, not going to last long in there. I think Cyborg was there for the pickup, but he dies instantly as well. And it's Barsam with the last few seconds of this amp. And no one to shoot. What a very close game. Only a 1 point lead for L7. We've had 4 minutes already. As another 100 armor goes the way of red. This time it's red to pick up all the armors. So a bit of a slip up by blue, but look how close the damage is. It's within 100. And the frags are identical. Belt's up in 3. Big fight over the belt. Lots of players from both teams all here. This belt fight's important because the armor's up soon. You can use the belt to get to the armor and then chain it onto the amp. And the belt was taken by Flo, actually. I missed that. He's going over towards the armor, but he's not there in time, and the armor goes to red. Instead, he's going to settle for the amp and defend it from within, but he's risking it down low. It does go down. Lots of damage there from the close-range guns, from the rockets and the flak, and that belt advantage is now whittled away from blue team, which means L7 going to get this amp pretty much for free. Cyborg is dropped a gun by his teammate, and 3 players from blue are in front of him. Barsam eats a shock primary. Cyborg dodges past that bio and narrowly avoids death at the hands of Masculine's flak. We'll have to heal up. Barsam goes down a second time. And 100 armor went to L7 as well. Oh, Cyborg gets headshot. Actually, somehow, despite the Ampron and the 100 armor grab, blue have been making frags elsewhere in the map, and they're still in the lead now. And sometimes that's what it's like. You get all the items, but you have a 30-second gap where your frag power and your team just wobbles a bit. And then that's a missed opportunity. 100 armor goes to Flo. He's only had... Well, he says he's had 0. I think maybe it only counts it once the next one spawns, but... I'm no HUD expert. I have to ask Zoe for that one. As Flo runs out of rockets, shooting Kevlar. Switches to Enforcer and gets the kill, and is rewarded with a shock rifle. But this 100's up soon, and it's Shox who will be in position for this one. Might give it over to Sunraiser. Nope, it's Shox to pick it up. We missed an amazing combo off screen. But there's now a 100 armor player for both teams, and they're both fighting down at the amp. Shox versus Flo. They both went for the amp, but Shox has the team support. 3 players from red here. Oh, but Flo jumps in and steals the amp. Does go down pretty quickly. But sometimes just stealing the amp is enough to disrupt your opponents. Kevlar got the belt though, that's crucial. Lead is now taken by L7. 4 points in the lead. Sunraiser with the amp gets the 100 armor. That's exactly what you want. His teammates still super stacked. This is an opportunity to start building up a big lead. Lots of players from blue on low stack. Barsam goes down. Masculine as well will go down. And just like that, 6 point lead from a 4 point deficit. Turning it around. And Sunraiser, at TDM expertise, he knows when to be back for this 100. He's been knocked down. Lots of players from blue, though. And that's the risk you take by vacating that 100 armor room. It's really easily defensible. Sunraiser not going to be given enough opportunity to just walk in and take the 100 like he was the first time round. And that puts blue in a good position, stack-wise, to take the belt, but instead it goes... I didn't even know who got it there. Whoever got it lost it immediately. This is an early setup for the amp. They're 15 seconds ahead of time. Thing is, on this map, because the amp is so central, if you kill somebody, they can spawn and rush the amp again. There'll probably be on a gun on the ground for them to pick up. Cyborg, he's stacked and he will probably walk away with this amp. Low stacked now though. But they're maintaining the 6-point lead. And they've got 15 seconds to prep for this belt, which is enough time to start leveraging this amp a bit. Maybe get a couple kills. Oh, 2 players from blue. They're walking into this amp. Flow goes down. Masculine goes down. And this is what I'm saying. Leveraging the amp on the major items is what you have to... It's what TDM is all about. It's about chaining those power-ups into getting more power-ups. And the kills just come whenever. Killing spree now for Cyborg. And he's got that belt, so this low HP isn't an issue for him. He's hanging around the amp for some reason. Maybe he wants a shock rifle. There we go. But big stacks for red. And they're starting to pull away with this. Over a 10-point lead now. Oh, Cyborg. He's knocked down low and gets double teamed. A bit of an unusual fight there. Belt up for ages. But shared a weapon by a teammate and probably going to get a spawn kill. If there ever was a PSA for sharing weapons, then that's one right there.
9,
Oh, Barsam just...
7,
Did he crash?
5,
I'm hoping he crashed and didn't quit there.
2, 1.
And we will pause. That's what that countdown was. So I'm hoping that was a crash. Because this is still absolutely a winnable game for either team. And with auto pause, we can just pick up where we left off. Unfortunately, it does ruin the stats. But that's Shox's problem. There we go, it was a crash. Barsam's back. Ready for these last 6 minutes. Only a 12-point lead. Biggest lead we've seen all game. But nothing that we haven't seen broken already. It was definitely more than a 10-point lead that Flo busted wide open on Spacer. And the game is live again. Pause has been ended. Players probably trying to struggle to remember when the items are up. Can absolutely throw people off. And Flo now looking for kill onto this amp carrier. Risking it. Cyborg down to 1 HP and he loses out. Flo and he taking 44 damage from an amped rocket launcher player there. Risky move. And Flo, he's one of those players that, given the opportunity to win the game through a slow grind and getting control, or rushing the amp carrier and winning a ridiculous fight and snowballing that, he will always take the risky play, for better or for worse. It does make him an enjoyable player to watch. Actually, the stats have been saved, I think. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, 100 armors up in 1 second. Cyborg actually walking away from that. I think he just heard it spawn. We'll go back for it. But Belt, oh, Belt's going to red. No! Who's it gone to? Blue. Everybody died. Everybody died. Except Barsam. But now with a bit of a stack of... Well, I was about to say stack advantage, but stack's looking pretty good for red as well. Cyborg getting himself health under that 100 armor is crucial. And with 5 seconds left in this amp, Barsam's here alone. Looking like some players from red maybe moving in. Barsam's walked away from the amp. It's actually about to spawn. It is up, but Shox, he's there. Got his back. I'm sure that was communicated, actually. No, hang on. Shox is on the enemy team, so Barsam's actually walked away from the amp. And, oh, that's really rough. It looked so casual. I assumed they were on the same team, but Shox getting a freebie there. Now up to a killing spree. I think that's 4 kills with the amp already. Risking it against these rockets, but he's done enough damage. That's a massive momentum break, and right now what Blue really need is momentum. With 4 minutes left, over a 20-point lead now. It's starting to snowball and get out of control. I didn't see who got the belt there. It's probably red, judging by Sunraiser's stack. Oh man, that's a real shame. This this big lead could have been just a small lead if that amp fight had gone the opposite way. But you know, these are the mistakes that cost you. If they look back and watch it, that's their team as a whole, because Barsam was there alone ahead of time. It's the team as a whole not knowing that the amp is up. And losing timing on that is critical. This next amp's up in 10. They don't want to miss out on this one, but it looks like red are here. And they're prepped this time round. Masculine pushes in alone and dies. Barsam, he's got no gun, he dies. And Shox will get the amp. Still on base stack. And Belt goes to his teammate. So this is huge for L7. Absolute opportunity to put the game to bed. It's now a 30-point lead. Man, snowballing totally out of control. And they're looking very comfortable in these last 2.5 minutes. As Barsam will go down, Flo will surely go down here as well. Looking a bit hopeless for BFSM, which is a shame because the first 2 games were really good. A Special One eats 170 damage from that combo. That is almost a max damage combo there. And you see players from red, they're just sort of running around and getting frags now. Enjoying themselves. 2 minutes left. This lead is practically insurmountable now. As Flo hits the roof, down to 3 HP. But miraculously surviving that little combo there. There we go. He won't survive for long. Belt goes to Cyborg. Kevlar's still stacked himself. It's 100. Oh, we'll actually go to blue. Sunraiser going down, but it's too little too late for blue. They're so far behind now. Nearly 40 points behind. They've gotten like... In the past 2 minutes, they've gotten 6 kills or something. Maybe 7. Which is really quite horrible. Meanwhile, their opponents have got about 30. Another free amp goes to Team Red. Shox was dropped a sniper there for his teammate, but he doesn't care. He's just going to go for kills now. A minute and 10 seconds left in this game. Just going to play it out for funsies. Oh. We'll pretend we didn't see that missed combo. Well, let's take a look at these stats. Oh, wow. I hadn't even noticed that. Sunrise has been absolutely all over the 100 armor. 17. 22 to 4, 100 armors. That's huge. That makes the fairly even belt count pretty much meaningless. And the amp time as well, very dominant, 7 to 2. Barely a full amp run. A full amp run's worth of time for BFSM there. And this all manifests as a damage difference. You know, just having stack and fighting Enforcer players all game, or even just the last half of the game, is going to boost your damage score quite significantly. Always easier to kill people that can't fight back. But with 10 seconds left, this is over a 40-point score lead, 44. And I think there was a suicide there from Barsam in the last second. But the last amp on the belt will not be allowed to spawn. The game ends, and that is map 3. L7 take it, 2-0. Very close first game. You know, BFSM got to be kicking themselves for not winning that first game because it was so close, and that would have been the victory for them in 2 maps. But instead, it goes to 3, and they lose Overlord in the least close game of the series. But otherwise, well played by them. Eventually, it's L7 who take the series. Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm going to head off because I'm really hungry. Thank you all for watching. I will be bringing you more coverage. Of course, the next scheduled game is on Sunday. People don't seem to be scheduling games, which is annoying. Either way, I will obviously be covering as many playoff games as possible. These are the ones that count the most, so I want to bring as many of these to you fine people as possible. But I will be off now. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, tune in next time.